Hello humans, I'm Yoshiller. Welcome back to some more Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I'm sad to report that today's Animal Crossing New Horizons gameplay video file has gotten messed up. It's a bunch of different technical problems that all culminated to make one completely unwatchable file. And it's even more unfortunate considering that the previous video of this series was a half day, so it feels like multiple days in a row I barely got any progress done in this series. But that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Progress. Rather than not having a video file at all, I figured I may as well go ahead and record some sort of extra gameplay video and talk about the progress that I want to make in this series before it officially comes to a close. I guess if there was any day to lose the recording file for, I guess it could be this one, because it was just another day where I was catching fish, bugs, and deep sea creatures. That's primarily what I've been doing in the series as of late. And the beginning of the video was going fine, so I do have some footage I could use, but you know, it's not really great footage. It's fine. I didn't do much. I did catch some fish and some bugs and some deep sea creatures and whatever, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. So, I need to have a change of plans for today. So for today's video, I figured I'd go ahead and look at the Nook Miles achievements that exist within this game and discuss which achievements I feel that I can clear before my series ends around the day 365 mark. So I will go ahead and do that. It's not the most entertaining type of video, and I apologize for this change of pace, but I figured I wanted to do something, and I wanted to have this conversation at some point anyway, so I may as well do it now. So here's my relatively quick day 338 video. Enjoy! So I just started rolling video, but I can almost assure you that Kurlos was right outside my house, and that when my character stepped out of the house, it pushed Kurlos off to the side. What are you doing outside my house, Kurlos? What are you doing outside my house? Okay, look, that's not important right now. Here's what is important. You can tell that in the lower left corner it says March 18th at midnight. That's gonna wrap me out right there. I'm recording this on a different day. So a lot of the information that I show today will not line up with the episode that was supposed to go out for this day. But I just wanted to be transparent with that. It doesn't really matter. I've already recorded the March 18th episode. It's just later in the day, and I really should be asleep right now. And I've been dreading having to come up with a solution for this episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons, but it's okay. The solution is that we're going to talk about the Nook Miles achievements that I've been trying to clear before this series comes to a close. And we're just going to go over all of them, and I'm going to discuss which ones I thought were easy to clear and which ones I think will be difficult or potentially impossible to clear before the series comes to a close. So, I mean, let's start with this one right here in the top left corner. This stamp indicates when you started playing the game. Now, at this point in time, we're about to approach the 1 year anniversary. I don't think there's a Nook Miles achievement for playing the game for 1 year, but there is something similar in which you must play the game for 300 days. I've already cleared that one. We'll talk about it when we get to it. But by technicality, this is the easiest Nook Miles achievement to get in the game. This is just play the game. So that's fine enough. As for fishing at this point in time, that is to say, as of March 18th, I have caught 4,206 fish. I would need to catch less than 800 fish in order to knock out this Nook Miles achievement, and I have been catching 50 fish a day. So that means, in theory, I should be done catching all of these fish in the... Well, hang on a second. Like, if I need to get 800 fish, and I'm catching 50 fish a day, that means every 2 days I'm getting 100 fish. Oh, then we're fine. Then I only need 16 more days to do this. I got scared because I'm so close toward the end of this series. I'm like, I only got 10 days left. No, I don't. I got like 30 days left. So yeah, this would only take 16 more days to do. So that achievement, I've been focusing on it for a while, but it's almost done. And then this one's been done for a long time too. This Nook Miles achievement required me to catch all 80 types of fish that exist within the game, and you can do it as long as you're catching fish from the very beginning. I messed up and I wound up missing 1 or 2 fish, but fortunately I had friends that lived in the southern hemisphere and I was able to go and get those fish during times where they were not available in my current season. So I lucked out there. This can be obnoxious, but I imagine if someone just focuses, you know, like the first or second day of every month, you just go fishing, it's really not that bad. You can really see as time went on, you know, I knocked this out in December, the last month where new fish become available. I don't think any other new fish become available in January or February. I think whatever fish are available in those months are either already available in December or vice versa are already available in March. So that's not so bad. That's a very time-consuming one, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. Then we've got Island Togetherness, and this one required me to talk to my villagers every single day. All of my villagers every single day. Fortunately, I did not have to talk to all my villagers every single day in a row. And that's why it took me till November to knock out this achievement. But I do remember I was in the process of knocking out daily Nook Miles achievements, and I would get the Nook Miles achievement for talk to 3 of my villagers, and I figured while I was at it, I would just go around and talk to all of my villagers. And the frustrating thing about this one is that sometimes my villagers can show up in the museum, and then I'd have to run to the museum and try to find all of them. So really, the best time to knock out this Nook Miles achievement is on the holidays, but it's over now. As a result, I haven't spoken to a lot of my villagers in a long time, but the perk of doing this Nook Miles achievement is that if you care about collecting your villager photos like I did in the past, this is an easy way to get it all done. Then, much like catching 5,000 fish, I've been trying to catch 5,000 bugs, and we are almost at 400 bugs left remaining. I've been in the process of catching 40 bugs a day, so in theory, it should only take me 10 more days to knock out this achievement. Pretty easy stuff. And then similarly, catch the 80 fish, catch the 80 bugs. Same type of thing. I finished catching all the bugs right around the same time I finished catching all the fish. Bugs can be a little trickier because they require different circumstances. Some of them require tree stumps. Some of them only spawn when like a snowball has spawned in the case of a dung beetle. And I gotta think you gotta get a little luckier to find a bug in order to find a specific type of fish, but you're probably more probable to find the bug too, because bugs are just plentiful, they're everywhere, and you can set it up a bit more easily. I do recall the summer bugs being particularly difficult to obtain, the ones like the gold stag or the giraffe stag. That was obnoxious, but I did go to a Nook Miles island, and I put all the coconut trees in one general area, and I just kept running around until I got the bugs to spawn on a tree. So I got lucky with that one. There was a time in this series where I thought I was not going to complete this achievement, but I did it, and I'm thankful for that. So now we have a nice DIY. This is as simple as collecting 200 different Nook Miles recipes. And if you're just playing the game, in the beginning you get like 30 recipes straight up. And then you just get more by talking to your villagers. And if you do seasonal events, you'll get a couple. So this just happens over the course of playing the game. As you can see, I knocked this one out in 2 months. So that's a pretty easy one to do. And then deep diving. Deep sea diving. There's only 2,500 deep sea creatures you have to get, which is half of the amount of bugs or fish you have to get. So that's not so bad. Deep sea diving, I think, is a bit easier because you don't need tools to necessarily go deep sea diving. You need a wetsuit, but you don't need to worry about your wetsuit breaking, You can just go deep sea diving. So for something like this, since it doesn't require too much focus, you don't have to worry about the deep sea creature getting away when you startle it, like you do for a bug or a fish. You just chat with a friend, or if you put some music on, knocking this Nook Miles achievement out, I gotta think is pretty easy. I am 480 deep sea creatures away. I have been catching 20 a day, but that's going to start going up once I'm done with the bug catching and fishing Nook Miles achievements. So we're almost done with that one. I will admit, though, getting all the deep sea creatures, even though there's only 40 of them, getting a couple of them suck. Because they're not as easy to distinguish as a bug is. I guess catching all the fish is probably the hardest, because it's so easy for a fish to get away. At least a deep sea creature, once you notice it, if it starts to get away from you, you can eventually chase it down. But I remember there were 1 or 2 instances where I was trying to get an umbrella octopus and one just wouldn't spawn. And there's really nothing you can do. At least for a fish, it's like, oh, this type of fish only spawns in a river, or only spawns in the ocean. Deep sea creatures, you just have to keep swimming around until you find it. So that one sucks, but I did it. It wasn't so bad. The only weird thing about it was that when the game came out, deep sea diving was not available, so it was not possible to get all the deep sea creatures. So I actually had to wait for the year to roll around so I could finish catching them. But yeah, all things considered, not so bad. DIY tools. Now we're reaching the point where I'm going to discuss a Nook Miles achievement that I might not actually clear before the series comes to a close. See, I have to craft 3,000 tools. We're almost a year into the series, and I've only done a third of that. And that's with a couple of days where I did nothing but craft tools. I think the 2 easiest ways to go about this achievement are to just gather a bunch of tree branches and hardwood and just stay at a station and craft a bunch of flimsy tools. And then, if you have iron nuggets, you can upgrade that to a regular tool. Anytime you upgrade a flimsy tool to a regular tool, it counts as crafting a separate tool. And similarly, when you upgrade a regular tool to a golden tool, that counts as crafting an entirely new tool. So you could do that. The other option is to just have a bunch of iron nuggets, go to a Nook Miles island, and then order a bunch of flimsy tools from the dodo bird that's on the dock, because you can spend Nook Miles to order tools. So if you have a lot of Nook Miles, you can just order a bunch of tools and then just upgrade them. I don't really have a proper strategy for this. I think the best thing to do is just to have my friends give me their tree branches, because tree branches you can technically get infinitely. For as long as you can shake trees, you can get tree branches, and you can just craft a bunch of flimsy tools. But I might not clear this one before the series comes to a close, and it's a bit of a shame, but at least I got 4 out of the 5. DIY furniture is a little similar, although this is much easier. Much like crafting 3,000 tools, you have to craft 3,000 pieces of furniture. And most of the DIY recipes that one would obtain in this game go toward crafting furniture. So if you were just trying to craft one of every item in the game, you'd probably get 200, 300 pieces of furniture easily. Now, that doesn't lead to 3,000. The trick I've been doing is to use scattered papers and document stacks interchangeably. Because, oh, I've got a lot of items here. But yeah, I have a document stack here. You can use a document stack to craft scattered papers. And then you can use scattered papers to craft a document stack. And you can just go back and forth on that infinitely. You don't have to worry about losing your supplies. Here we go. Sort by series. Yeah, so if you sort by series, these two items will be right next to each other. See, one document stack creates scattered papers. One scattered papers creates a document stack. And I've had plenty of videos of the series where I've done nothing but craft that item back and forth into each other, and I plan to do it again. In fact, there's an upcoming video of this series where you're gonna see me do that. So that Nook Miles achievement, for as obnoxious as it's gonna be, I think I can clear that before the series comes to a close. I know I'm not even halfway there, but I think if I just put like 3 or 4 more days into that, I can probably get close to it. But I'm ready to not be able to clear that achievement before the series comes to a close. Furniture freshener. This is just a matter of refurbishing items, right? I think this is the one you get for customizing items. And my trick for that one, yeah. The more items you refurbish, the more... Yeah, so this is for customizing items. I mean, the simplest thing you can do is you can either customize your tools, because those only cost 1 customization block, or you can customize a magazine, which is what I did. You just customize a magazine over and over and over until you've customized it 200 times, and it's really easy. So, that's how I did it. Rough hewn, which one's this? So we're giving away Nook Miles with how much you've chopped from trees. Oh yeah, the easiest way to do this one is to... Well, I mean, you can go around your island every day and just bonk the trees on your island. Or you can go to a Nook Miles island and just chop down all the trees and create as much damage as you want without consequences. So I actually do advise going to Nook Miles islands to do this one. It's obnoxious, but as time goes on and as you need more wood for more supplies, you can knock this out pretty easily. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, in the span of one day, from March 22nd to March 23rd, I chopped 100 pieces of wood. So, not so bad. Trash tools, I mean, the easiest way to go about this one is to take a flimsy axe and to just bonk a tree over and over and over until the axe breaks. And once you break enough axes, you actually get the recipe for a golden axe. So that's how I went about doing this one. And once I came up with the flimsy axe strategy, that's just what I did. Otherwise, I just waited for my tools to break naturally. But breaking a flimsy axe is fine because you can keep bonking a tree. Even after the tree stops giving out wood, if you keep bonking it with the axe will break eventually. So that's what I recommend. Rock splitting, I mean, this is easy. Eat a fruit, hit a rock with a shovel, and the rock will split open. And if you want to move the rocks around on your island, I mean, you're going to come across that Nook Miles achievement anyway. So pretty good. And then this one's for the first time you find a fossil. I mean, that's simple enough. Use a shovel, dig up a fossil. Sounds fine. This is for the amount of times I've had fossils assessed. There are daily Nook Miles achievements that require you to get 3 fossils assessed, so if you just do that after enough times, I mean, you'll get this done. And if you're trying to fill out the museum, you will get this Nook Miles achievement done. It's really easy peasy. It's not so bad. I know getting 500 fossils assessed is a lot. It's really not that bad. I actually advise stocking up, getting like 30 fossils and then going in and then just having Blathers assess them, because that way it's just one text box to get 30 fossils assessed. It's the same amount of work if you were to just get 3 fossils assessed. So you may as well get all of them assessed at the same time. And then you can sell them. After Blathers assesses a fossil, the assessed fossil sells for a lot more than if you just sold it as a raw fossil. So that's an option. Greedy Weeder, this is actually a lot easier. This is for selling weed clumps. If you don't have weed clumps on your island, like not enough for spawning, go on a Nook Miles tour, buy a Nook Miles ticket, go to some random island and grab all the weed clumps there. I swear to you can get like 100 weed clumps or more from just one tour. So it's really not that bad. Flower power. So this was for growing flowers. I had a couple of days dedicated to trying to knock out this achievement. Yeah, I got from 200 to 300 on the same day. Wow. I'm just now seeing that. Yeah, the idea is you plant a bunch of flowers. Planting flowers is a very fast process. Just stand in an open area and then you select a flower and you hit plant and it automatically goes in. So what I advise is you just plant a bunch of flowers in one area and then you dig them up on the same day. The only downside is you can't do this on a Nook Miles island. You have to do it on your island. So dedicate some land to having flowers, plant them all, go through, wait for the Nook Miles achievement to go off, and then just dig them all up. Maybe have some friends come dig them all up. you know, that's how I went about that. And then flower tender's a little similar. This is for watering your flowers. So if you have a designated flower area like I do, my flower garden is right behind my house. I will show it to you guys in case you haven't seen it before. The flower garden is just a very, very easy way to water your flowers with ease. You stand in one area like this. My flower garden here is pretty organized. Okay, fine. I will catch one extra bug real quickly. There. Now I can say that I made a bit of progress today. Thank you. It's not even going to be able to fit in my inventory, but whatever. Alright. Get on out of here. So, you know, you have all these flowers together. When you water flowers one time, that counts as watering 8 flowers. So, you know, you stand here, boom, that's 8 right there. You can go over here, boom, that's another 8. And if you have a flower garden like this, you know, you can water like 50, 60 flowers in one day. So this Nook Miles achievement is easy. The only unfortunate thing is that if it's raining, it doesn't count as you watering your flowers because the flowers are already sparkling because they've been hit with water. So just don't do this one on a rainy day. Alright, then after flower tender, what do we got? Tomorrow's trees today. Oh, this is for planting trees. So this is similar to when I planted flowers. I have a designated area where you just plant the trees. It can just be sprouts. And then once you've planted enough, you just dig them up and you sell them. Or sell the ones you don't want. Pretty easy. Pick of the bunch. Ah, this is for selling fruit. Well, my trick for this was usually to go inside of the shop, buy the fruit from the shop, and then sell it right back to them. You just do that for a couple of days and you're good. You do sell the fruit at a loss if you do it that way. So if you're ever having excess bells, just spend it on fruit in the shop and then sell it right back to them. Easy peasy. And then fruit roots. The only real way you can really go about knocking out this achievement is to have friends that have the fruits. I mean, you're guaranteed to have one type of fruit on your island, which is what I had, pears. March 22nd is what I got. Oh, and cherries. Right, because your mom or someone at the beginning of the game sends you a second type of fruit. But in order to get the other ones, you gotta have friends. I believe. I mean, you can get coconuts from a Nook Miles tour, and you can probably get a third fruit from a Nook Miles tour, because I've gone to plenty of Nook Miles islands where all the trees had peaches on them, and that's not my island's native fruit. Maybe, allegedly, you can get other fruit to show up in the mail. That's not how I got them. As you can see, I got oranges, peaches, and apples on the same day, because people came to my island and dropped them off. So that's the easiest way to do that one, is just to have friends come to your island. Shrubs! Shrubs were added to this game in May when the character Leaf became a rotational character that could show up. Similarly to flowers and plants, you just buy a bunch, have a designated area on your island, plant them all, and then dig up the ones you don't want. Easy peasy. Alright, go ahead, be shellfish. This is for the amount of seashells you sell. Like, I can't even say it. You sell seashells. Alright, if you just go around your beach every day, pick up 20 shells, and then sell them, you'll knock this out in no time. Selling manila clams counts as well. Manila clams will keep spawning. You can sell them. It counts as selling a seashell. Pretty easy stuff. Oh, this one is specifically for manila clams. Pretty sure manila clams still count toward this one as well. This one's specifically for manila clams. Like, no matter what, you're going to have to look around for manila clams anyway and sell them, so... Or, this actually isn't for selling them. This is just for having them. So, there you go. You need it for fish bait. Trash fishing. What do I advise with this one? Because in recent times, I've been going to Nook Miles Islands, and I've been trying to catch 50 fish a day. And in trying to catch 50 fish a day, I fish a lot of trash. So this one, you just kind of have to do it. Go to a Nook Miles Island. There are some islands that I gotta believe are designated to just giving you trash. So your best bet is to go to an island and just fish up trash in a lake. Fish in a lake, or a river, I guess. Just don't fish in the ocean. You know, you just gotta do this one. Cast Master. Now, this one sucks. This is a Nook Miles achievement you get for fishing 100 fish in a row without you scaring the fish, or without the fish biting on and you not pulling the reel back in time. My friends actually had to come and help me with this one. I was getting so frustrated. I was having specific days dedicated to trying to knock out this achievement, and I couldn't do it. So my friends and I had a process where I'd go fishing and they'd stand behind me and they'd just drop off bags of fish bait behind me. And for them to do that, the deal was they'd help me with that, and in exchange I'd purchase Monster Hunter Rise. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So Monster Hunter Rise videos are going to come on my channel when the game comes out because of their assistance with this Nook Miles achievement. So That's how I did it. I had friends help me with this one. Otherwise, there really is no better advice for this one, unfortunately. I think fish bait makes this the easiest. See if you can get 100 bags of fish bait, stand in one spot, and just keep going. But it can be monotonous and it can be frustrating. Dream house. This is for basically paying off my house. Every time I paid off my house, I got another room added to it. So the best thing I can say for this basically comes down to what's the best way to get money. Well, the best way to get money is to sell turnips. You can get tons and tons of bells, and that is going to require that you go to someone else's island. Let's say you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, or let's say you can't come into contact with people who are selling turnips, which, by the way, is very easy. You go on Twitter and you type in turnip prices, and people will always have something. But in case you can't do that, the next best thing I advise then is to simply try to accomplish daily Nook Miles achievements, whether it's, catch 5, like what are my examples right here? Chop down a tree, talk to my neighbors, catch deep sea creatures. Knock out these a bunch of times, and then go to resident services and then buy bell vouchers, and then sell the bell vouchers for bells. That's the easiest thing you can do. Or you can catch a bunch of bugs and just sell the bugs. Or deep sea creatures. Deep sea creatures probably sell for the most. So catch some deep sea creatures and then sell those. Easy. This is for getting an S ranking from the Happy Home Academy, and I sadly don't really have advice for this one. You just kind of have to have some creativity. They will constantly give you advice on how to have proper theming in your house. I think the more expensive items you have in your house, the higher your rating gets. So maybe work around that. Just have expensive items, have good theming. Try to have wallpaper and flooring that goes together. I assure you getting S ranking is easier than it sounds. I got it without really trying. So there's that. Hoard reward. This is for having furniture in your house. Yeah. Buy stuff from the shop and hang on to it in case one of your friends wants it one day. If you got like 2,400 slots in your house, you can dedicate 150 slots in your house just to get this Nook Miles achievement. Easy peasy. Good things in store. Oh, that's for items in storage. This is for furniture in general. Okay, well, I mean, same type of thing. You have enough space for 300 pieces of furniture in your house. Easy peasy. Remarkable remodeler. So remodeling your house. I've been doing this at the start of each month just to try and mix things up. Right now my house is orange and white. But before it was just white and like slightly blue to go with the winter theming. That's all you really got to do. And you eventually reach a point where remodeling your house is free. So you can just knock this out over the span of like 3 days. Easy peasy. Smile Isle. Now this one will probably not be completed before this series comes to a close. This requires doing favors for villagers, and that usually involves buying medicine, finding a lost item, delivering an item from one villager to another as like an apology sort of thing. Sometimes my villagers have had me do a treasure hunt, but I'm at the mercy of my villagers needing me to do that for them, so I don't know if that's going to happen 34 more times in this series, let alone whatever the next one is, probably 200, so 134 more times. It's probably not going to happen. So I'm willing to accept the fact that this Nook Miles achievement will just not be cleared. Reaction ruler. So I got all the reactions. I have them all. It was very obnoxious to get these. The best thing I can recommend is to have one of each type of villager on your island. I do have one of each type of villager, or at least I did before Stu moved out. Which button is it? It's... There we go. And then all of them. So yeah, that's all of them. Have one of each type of villager. You can stack this with needing to talk to your villagers every single day, and obviously the more you talk with your villagers, the more your villagers will like you, and the more probable they are to teach you reactions. So I was very fortunate that by pure coincidence I had one of each type of villager on my island, and eventually I got all of them. I believe the last one I needed was the love reaction, and that one took forever to get. Brofina, I believe, had to teach me it, but I got him. Alternatively, though, I don't even think you need to learn all the reactions anymore to get that achievement. I think you can get it because you can also buy the new reactions that have been added thanks to updates. I think that counts toward it. But if it doesn't, I mean, you just got to keep talking to your villagers every day. There's better tutorials out there that can better explain how to get villagers on your side, and eventually they'll just teach you it. But otherwise, it's a frustrating and time-consuming process. Island Shutterbug. So, yeah, take a photo of your island. Great, easy, cool, whatever. Edit credit. Oh yeah, editing your passport. That's something I should probably do. I've done it at some point. I have not changed it since. Alright. Got used to... Yeah, so you get all these just for like using your Nook phone for the first time, right? There you go. Saving you miles just for using your phone. Yep, so this gives you a bunch of Nook Miles to work with so you can better understand how it all works. Shop to it. Now this is an interesting one. You will get this one for buying items, but you can only buy 5 items for yourself a day. You can buy items for other people though, and that I believe still counts, so just buy a bunch of stuff. This actually ties into a different Nook Miles achievement I will be getting into later. Growing collection. So as you get more furniture, you will have more items get added to your item catalog. And once you have 500 items cataloged, you will knock out all the stamps in this Nook Miles achievement. I've had friends, like my good friend Jughead870, have island parties where he will just have a bunch of his items laid out, and you just go around, pick up a bunch of items, and then drop them all back off. You don't need to keep the items, and that's actually what I recommend. I believe this also counts for crafting items too, so if you like crafting furniture, the crafted furniture gets added to this. But if you don't have a friend you can go to, just keep buying stuff from the shop and you'll get it eventually. Buy seasonal items, just do everything. Nook Miles for Miles. Okay. This one sucked. In order to do this one, you have to do 3,000 daily Nook Miles achievements. And in order for me to knock this one out, I had to go about having designated days where I did nothing but daily Nook Miles achievements. That's actually why I have 286,680 Nook Miles right now. I actually had a lot more. I believe I had closer to 500,000 Nook Miles because I had knocked out this achievement. I just would get up and say, okay, today I'm going to do 50 daily Nook Miles achievements, and I would just do it. So that's how you have to go about doing it. The good news, though, is that if you go about doing daily Nook Miles achievements, they actually help you with all of the other Nook Miles achievements. Like, they'll say catch 5 fish. Well, that helps you with the catch 5,000 fish achievement. Sell 5 fruit. Well, that helps you with the sell 2,000 fruit achievement, so on and so forth. So when doing that, it helps you across the board. But yeah, this is a rough one to do. But that's my only strategy. You just have to wake up and say, all right, I'm going to do 50 daily Nook Miles. First time buyer, yeah, just spend bells. Sell stuff for bells. Easy. Move. There you go. Easy. Bell ringer. This is for spending bells. So if you're gonna do my strategy where you buy fruit from the shop and then sell the fruit back to the shop, you will knock this out. Obviously, at some point, yes, you would need to have 5 million bells to spend, but you don't need to do it all in one sitting. But that is how I knocked out this achievement. I knocked out this achievement by buying enough fruit and selling it back here. And you can buy other expensive items from the shop too, but if there's nothing else from the shop you want to buy, just buy the fruit and sell it back. That's how I advise going about this one. Alright. This is for buying turnips. Daisy May shows up every Sunday morning. She sticks around till noon. If you buy turnips at all, you will get this stamp. Similarly, if you sell 10 million bells worth of turnips, you will knock this achievement out. And yeah, the best strategy I have is go to a friend's island. Go to a friend who has great turnip prices and sell your stuff. I've had great turnip prices on my island too, and I've let people come to my island to sell their turnips. But again, there are designated Twitter accounts, people online, designated websites where you can just look for people who have their gates open because they have good turnip prices. And you just go and sell your turnips. It's a lot easier than it seems. 10 million bells seems like a lot, but I assure you this will fly by. Alright, loan payments. This is what I got for finally paying off my loan. I did it on April 1st. I knocked it out in 11 days. Pretty good. No, 12 days, but still. Okay, bulletin board. Put something on the bulletin board. Very easy. Pen pal. Alright, so you get this achievement for sending out 200 pieces of mail. The easiest way to go about this Nook Miles achievement is to go into your Nook Miles thing, go into your Nook shopping. Alright. Go to a special good. I don't know. Chino pants. Send it as a gift. And then pick one of your friends. This counts as sending mail. Now, the downside to this is that you can only send 2 pieces of mail to each person. But if you have a pretty plentiful friends list, you can just fly through this. Like, there's what, like 20 people here? So I could send out 40 pieces of mail if I wanted to. So I don't know, we'll send this to Nera. Alright, and then you do this. And then boom, you press plus. Boom. That counts as sending a piece of mail. Very easy. Alright, it's pretty good. And you don't have to write individual letters. If you don't have friends, you will have to go to the airport and send letters to your villagers. But you can type in the letter A and send that as a letter. And it'll count. It is a literal letter. So that's how you do the shop 2 at 1. And because you're ordering stuff, that helps you get more stuff in your catalog. Or that helps you with the shopping Nook Miles achievement as well. I have gone too far. Yeah, so that's popular pen pal. Flea Flicker. This one, you're once again at the mercy of your villagers getting fleas. Obviously, you'll need to catch a flea at some point to finish your Critterpedia, because it's a bug you can contribute to the museum. But yeah, you just have to hope that your villagers have fleas, and you'll see. They will have a flea jumping on them, and you just have to pay close attention. So, there's that. Cicada Memories. This one's interesting. You can only get this achievement if a cicada shell spawns on your island. It's happened for me. I caught it. You're at the mercy of it spawning, but as long as you've got trees, it'll show up eventually. What you could do is you could have one designated part of your island where you just have a row of trees and you keep running back and forth to see if it spawns. You just have to be careful so you don't accidentally cause it to despawn. But other than that, as soon as you catch it, this achievement goes off. So that's interesting to me. Netting better. So you get this one for catching 5 wasps in a row. 5 wasps are guaranteed to spawn on your island every single day. And what you can do is, you could, as I learned later on as the series went on, I would shake a tree, have the wasp nest fall in front of me, and then you can immediately press A to catch the wasp. And you just find the 5 trees on your island that have wasps, and you just knock it out. And if you mess up one day, you just do it the following day until it's done. Pity party! You get this for creating a pitfall. One of these days, someone will give you a recipe for a pitfall. In my case, one of my friends, well, he gave me a pitfall, so I put down a pitfall, and I got the Nook Miles achievement for it. So there you go. Taking the sting out. Getting stung by wasps hurt. Yeah, but at least you get Nook Miles for it. So eventually you're going to need to get stung by wasps to get this Nook Miles achievement. It's probably going to happen through natural gameplay anyway. So there you go. Faint of heart. You will get this if you get stung by wasps twice, or if you get bit by a tarantula. So I mean, if you just want to knock these out, just get stung by wasps twice. Easy peasy. Alright, this is for falling into a pitfall. You can always fall into your own pitfall. Easy peasy. Good stuff. Faked out. Alright, so this is for donating fake art. So like it or not, you're going to have to buy a fake painting at some point and contribute it. The good news is, you can always give your fake paintings to your friends, because you can't sell them. So you can, if your friend has a fake painting, he can give it to you. You can try contributing it to the museum. Blathers will freak out, say it's fake, and then you can get this Nook Miles achievement. So this is actually a pretty easy one to get. As long as one piece of fake painting exists, or fake art exists in the world, you can get it. Alright, Lost Treasure. This is for popping a balloon over a body of water. In order to do this, you will need to have a river or a lake. So have one, wait for a balloon to pop or fly by, and then you can just pop it. Alright, Raining Treasure. Now, this one, I guess there are ways to cheese this one. I've never done it, but basically you just wait for balloons to fly by and you pop them. In my experience, I just ran around my island until balloons appeared, and then I popped them. Because you have to pop 300 balloons in order to get a golden balloon to spawn anyway, because when you pop the golden balloon, you get the recipe for the golden slingshot. Apparently the best time of year to do this is during Bunny Day, because I guess more balloons spawn during Bunny Day because you have to get sky balloons or sky eggs or air eggs or whatever they're called, and those only spawn in the Bunny Day balloons. So that's probably a good time to do it. Otherwise, I just ran around my island until they appeared, and it's a very sucky Nook Miles achievement to do. You don't really want to go inside any buildings because that might cause certain balloons to despawn. There's something you can do if you have like certain types of fences or certain types of gates or something. It causes balloons to spawn in different areas. But yeah, that's really all the advice I have about that Nook Miles achievement. Fun with fences! Yeah, make a fence. You can do it. There's recipes. You can get a fence. Get a fence recipe. Make a fence. It's easy. Alright, Snow Maestro. This one can only be done in the winter. This requires you to make 20 perfect snowmen. Now, I have a part on my island over here to the right that I wound up dedicating specifically to the practice of creating a perfect snow person every single day. And it worked more often than it didn't work. And the strategy was to have my snowballs constantly spawn over here, which they did. They would usually spawn around here or so. And then I would take one snowball and roll it along a dirt path into another snowball. Basically, you get both snowballs back to maximum height. You put one snowball on one end, you put one snowball on the other end, and then you would roll one snowball to the other. The perfect snow person would show up right here, and bada bing, bada boom. Because the idea is that to make a perfect snow person, the bottom part has to be the maximum height or something like that, and then the head has to be 10% smaller. So, you just make 10 tile spaces, and the snowball will decrease by 1% in size every time it goes along the dirt path. I hope that made sense. I did it quite a few times in my videos if you want to look at any of my winter ones. It's all over the thumbnails and stuff. Alright, let's see, where was I? We did all these, we did all these, we did all these. We're almost done. We're almost done. So, we did Snow Maestro, wishes come true. Alright, so every once in a while on an island there will be a shooting star show, and Isabelle will let you know when that is the case. And that is the perfect time to go about knocking out this Nook Miles achievement. The good news is if you have a friend that's also hosting a shooting star show, you can go over and wish on stars on their island, and they spawn plentiful amounts. So you go to 1 or 2 shooting star shows, and you will knock this out. Alright, exterior decorator. This is just for having furniture outside. 10 pieces of furniture outside. I don't know, put a chair or something outside. This is easy. Alright, don't worry about that one. Aquanet icons. Okay, so this is just a matter of going to resident services and giving your island a flag and giving it a theme. It can be anything you want. You can draw a straight line and that's your flag, and then for your theme you can make it all quarter B notes, and it's you just go and that's your song. Easy. I did spend a long time not having a flag, but I do have one now, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, island designer. So this is for terraforming your island, basically. You get access to terraforming for getting a 3-star evaluation on your island. Then you can go around and do whatever you want. So you will get Nook Miles for, you know, creating a cliff, creating water, and creating a path. So all easy stuff. Alright, Wispy Island secrets. So randomly at night, sometimes a ghost character by the name of Wisp will show up on your island, and you will talk to him, and he will get scared, and he will split himself into 5 pieces, and when you find all 5 pieces, he will say, hey, thanks for helping me. In exchange for helping me, I will get you a piece of furniture you have never obtained before. And truth be told, I probably could have knocked out this achievement a lot more often. The only downside is you have to play at night. But he shows up. If he shows up sometimes twice a week. I've had him show up twice a week. So, you know, by that logic, you only have to help him 20 times. If he showed up twice a week, you can knock it out in 10 weeks. It took me a lot longer, but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Gulliver is a bit more of a different case. Now, there's Gulliver and there's Gullivar, and if you help either of them, it counts toward this Nook Miles achievement. So, they all wash up on your island once a week. You can get both of them in the same week, too. So, you can get Gulliver on Monday, Gullivar on Friday. I've had that happen before. So, you help them. Gulliver's case, you dig up communicator parts on the beach, and Gullivar, you got to go deep sea diving for communicator parts. But it's very easy, and you actually want to do this because it helps you get the gold shovel recipe. So, after you help them 20 times, you get the stamp. After you help them 30 times, you get the gold shovel recipe. I don't really know why they didn't just make the third stamp 30, but whatever. I will keep helping them. Very good. KK Mania. Alright, so unfortunately, there is no way to cheese this achievement. I am sorry to say. This achievement can only be earned if you listen to KK's show, what is it, 100 times? I think is what the last stamp is. I will get the third stamp, no problem. Getting the subsequent stamps is a problem. You might figure, oh, if you just listen to multiple KK songs in one night, I can knock out this achievement. You cannot. You can only get one additional number here, one increment, every time you listen to a KK song on a day. Or rather, you can only get one per day. So if you listen to a KK song on a day, that's the only increment you get. If you go to a friend's island and listen to a KK song, it doesn't count. If you go to a friend who has KK on a Friday, because it's their birthday, and you listen to a song there, it doesn't count. It has to be on your island. As a result, you can only do this once a week, and KK only shows up after your island's rating is 3 stars or higher. So you might go the first week of the game without KK not being here. I went like 3 or 4 weeks without him being here because I was only playing the game for an hour a day. And then there's only 52, 53 weeks in a year. So, in order to knock out this achievement, if it is 100, you'd have to play this game for 2 years, and you'd have to play it every Saturday. So I might boot up this game every Saturday and listen to a KK song just to try and knock out that achievement. But otherwise, yeah, that one's a ways off. True Patron of the Arts. Now here's an interesting one. You get this achievement just for having art. You do not need to have a complete art exhibit. I do not have a complete art exhibit. I have knocked this out. There's like 40 paintings. You only need to possess 20. You only need to purchase 20. So this achievement's actually a lot easier to knock out than it seems. You can have friends send you art. You can buy it from Red. Doesn't matter if it's fake or real. As long as you have art, you can knock out this achievement. Alright, you ought to know. You get this achievement for going deep sea diving and finding scallops. For as long as you have empty inventory. So as long as your item inventory isn't completely filled up like mine is now, you know, as long as you have at least one open space like this, and you pick up a scallop while you're deep sea diving, the character of Pascal will show up and offer to trade with you. And as long as you say yes 20 times, you will knock out that achievement. So you can only do this once a day. So you just have to see him 20 days. But, I mean, I knocked it out relatively quickly. So, there you go. Pretty easy peasy. Alright, true friends! Have residents on your island. Make them good friends with you. If they give you your photo, you are probably good friends with them. You only gotta be friends with 3 of them. You can have 10 villagers on your island, so pick 3. Become friends with them. Easy peasy. Alright, birthdays! So, you can only have 10 villagers on your island, but you need to celebrate 20 birthdays. What do? Well, you've got a couple different options. You can rotate your villagers out. You can have some of your villagers leave, try to invite different villagers who have upcoming birthdays, and then try to celebrate their birthdays. What I did, this actually counts if you go to someone else's island and celebrate a birthday. And more importantly, you can celebrate multiple birthdays on the same day. The way I knocked out this achievement was, I guess, on November 6th, it was Raymond's birthday. Raymond is probably the most popular villager that exists on the islands of Animal Crossing players. And on one day, I celebrated Raymond's birthday like 10 different times, and it knocked out this achievement. So that's what I would advise. If not Raymond, try to find a popular villager coming up and see if you can celebrate that villager's birthday. Weird that you can celebrate multiple birthdays in the same day, but you can't get multiple KK songs. Then, alternatively, as long as you celebrate your own birthday, you'll get the Nook Miles achievement for that as well. And the game will actually play out differently when it's on your birthday, so you're actually all the more encouraged to just pop on the game when it's your birthday for like 5 minutes, get the stamp, get some extra stuff. Fishing tourney. Alright, so in each of the seasons, there is a fishing tourney. I was able to knock out 2 fishing tourneys on one day because, you know, Southern Hemisphere has different seasons. So when the summer fishing tourney occurred on July 11th, I went to the Southern Hemisphere and also celebrated the winter fishing tourney. So you can totally do that if you're unavailable in December or something. However, the same cannot be said for the bug catching contest, unfortunately, which means that I'm probably never going to knock out this achievement. I had to send in my Nintendo Switch for repairs for 2 weeks in the month of August. It's the only time I ever took a break in the series. And during that 2 weeks, a bug catching contest occurred. I missed it, and therefore I did not get the stamp for it. I thought I could make up for it when I had a friend who lived in the Southern Hemisphere have a bug catching tourney. And before you guys are like, are you sure you participated in the right bug catching tourney? Yes, I am. Because a way to look at the bug catching contest, the bug catching tourney, however you want to look at it, the bug off. The way to look at it is there's one in June, July, August, and September. I missed the one in August. So, with regards to the Southern Hemisphere, the way that this game processes things, we're 6 months apart by technicality. Whatever happens in the month of February in the Northern Hemisphere will occur in the month of August in the Southern Hemisphere. So, in February, I went and participated in a bug off in the Southern Hemisphere, and it did not give me the stamp. So, if you miss it, you miss it, and it sucks, but it is what it is. Now, this one, you have to play the game at New Year's, and more specifically, you have to play the game when the ball drops. Basically, like right at midnight. As long as you check in, you get the stamp, you're good. So, as long as you check in at all, I don't think it has to be right when the ball drops, but you like have to talk to Tom Nook or something right after the ball drops or something like that. So, I did it. I recorded the ball dropping in this game. It was nice. Make a change. This is for accessing your wardrobe and changing your costume. I have different lockers hooked up around my island. Oh, there's a balloon right there. I guess we're going to skip it. I have different lockers. I have one on the east side, one on the back side. You can also use a refrigerator, interestingly enough, to store your clothes. But yeah, just keep these on various parts of your island, and you will be able to get dressed with ease. It's also a very common daily Nook Miles achievement to access your wardrobe and get changed. So just have wardrobes on your island, and if nothing else, have one in your house and go get changed. Very, very easy. Alright, we're almost done. So, first, custom design. Yeah, I've made a custom design before, guys. I made a custom shirt. I don't have too many custom things. I usually just download other people's. But yeah, I have a few different things. Like I made this Yoshi hoodie. I made that. And then I also made the men and women signs that are outside of my island's restrooms. I think that's actually what I got the achievement for, was for designing these. See, I drew a guy and a girl, and I got the Nook Miles achievement for it. So, very, very easy. You can just draw a straight line, and it'll count. Just basically open the island designer stuff and play with it, and you'll knock all those out. Same thing, Custom Design Pro. This is specifically for making clothing, though. So, you get one for designing any sort of pattern, any sort of object, and you get another for designing clothing. So, I got this one for designing the Yoshi shirt. So there you go. Very good. I'll give that to me on December 25th, huh? Is that when I designed the Yoshi shirt? I don't remember. Whatever. Okay. Well, I got this one. Oh, yeah. Sometimes on your island there will be little glowing spots. If you dig them up, those will be bells. And you can plant it back. You can plant something else back in there, and you can get a money tree. All right. This is for finding furniture in your trees. What you can basically do to knock this one out is just have a routine where every day you go around your island and you shake the trees and you check for wasps and you check for furniture. And you can also go to a Nook Miles island tour and find trees on those islands, and they usually have furniture as well. It's only 100, and you can get 2 pieces of furniture from your trees on your own island every day. So after 50 days, you can knock this one out, and you can stack that by going on Nook Miles tours. So that's not so bad. This one, each of these golden tools is obtained in a different way, and I'm about to go over how you get each one. You get the golden net for catching every type of bug in the game, all 80 of them. So by the time December rolls around, if you started the game in March, you should have access to every type of bug and every type of fish. You catch all of them and you get the tools. You don't have to give them all to Blathers. You just need to have a complete Critterpedia, and then the following day, you will get the recipes in the mail. The golden watering can you get for having at least a 3-star rating on your island. You might need to get 5 stars for that one. But once you do, Isabelle will give you the recipe for a golden watering can. Simple as that. The golden slingshot is obtained for popping 300 balloons, which is necessary for a different Nook Miles achievement anyway. After you pop 300 balloons, a golden balloon has a chance of spawning over your island, and once you pop it, it will contain the recipe for a golden slingshot. The golden axe recipe will suddenly be learned after you break, 300 axes? And it has to be axes. It can't just be tools, you have to break enough axes. The easy way to go about this is to take a flimsy axe and keep bonking it against a tree until it breaks. Even after the tree is done giving you pieces of wood, the flimsy axe will still have wear and tear on it. And eventually, when you've broken enough axes, your character will just suddenly learn the recipe. The one I am missing, and the one I imagine most people will get last, is the golden shovel. You get that for helping Gulliver 30 times. After you help him 30 times, he will send you the recipe in the mail. I have helped him plenty of times, at least 20. I just don't know why he hasn't sent me the recipe yet. So I might not even get the golden shovel before the series comes to a close. I'm at the mercy of Gulliver spawning on my island. But hopefully I can get it. Alright, almost done. You get this achievement for... Let me read this. Neighboring islands with... Oh, for having friends come over to your island. So this one encourages you to play multiplayer. You can do it locally or online. And you just have your friends come over enough times and you'll knock it out. If you have online and you have good turnip prices, I assure you, you will knock out this achievement in a matter of seconds. But otherwise, just have your friends come over. Good stuff. Alright, this is for having your friends come to your island. This is for going to friends' islands. So, you gotta do both. You gotta share, you gotta be a host, and you gotta be a guest. And then, you get this achievement for playing the game across 300 days. And I want to make it clear what counts as playing the game for a day. It counts basically for seeing Isabelle's opening message 300 different times. Or whoever's in charge. It's Tom Nook in the beginning. Playing the game at midnight or 1 a.m. does not count as a new day. A new day in Animal Crossing begins at 5 a.m. There are 1 or 2 days where I played the game at 1 a.m. Kind of like I'm doing now, right? But this does not count as a new day for Animal Crossing. All right? A new day starts at 5 a.m. If you were playing the game at 4:59 a.m. and then the clock struck 5 a.m., you will be brought to Isabelle's morning message, and then after Isabelle's morning message is over, the game will say you have played for another day. So technically, I cleared this achievement on day 302 of my series. But all you have to do is check in. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to sell anything. You just got to get past Isabelle's morning message, watch your character step out of the house, and then save your game and shut it off. And that is how you do each of the Nook Miles achievements in the game. So, just to recap. This one, I'm at the mercy of Gulliver showing up on my island and giving me the recipe. I might clear this achievement before the series is over. I might not. This one, I will not be clearing before the series comes to a close, and it's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. This one I will not be clearing before the series comes to a close. Maybe a year from now I'll do some sort of bonus video where I finally clear this achievement, but until then, it ain't happening. Alright, and then I've cleared most of these. Smile Isle, yeah, I probably won't clear this one before the series comes to a close. I most likely will not. I will talk to my villagers and see if they want favors done, and I probably will get the next stamp, but I might not even get the next stamp. And maybe I'll do an update video for this one as well. Maybe some point in the future I'll be like, guys, I finally got the Smile Isle achievement, but we'll see. Then, the only other two I have to worry about are DIY tools and DIY furniture. I feel pretty confident about DIY furniture being done before the series comes to a close. I really do. DIY tools, not so much. DIY furniture is just easier to knock out because of that scattered papers document stack trick. I'll have a couple more episodes dedicated to me just doing that, and I will knock this out. But DIY tools, I mean, that requires me to use up resources. I don't really have a way to cheese this, so that probably won't be cleared, but we'll see. Otherwise, oh yeah, and then the 3 at the top. The 3 big Nook Miles achievements I've been focusing on as of late. Angling for perfection. You've got the bug and deep dive. These will all be done in the span of about 15 more days, so I hope you will all look forward to it. The bug one will probably be done first, followed by the fishing, followed by the deep sea diving. Obviously, the fishing one's easiest to clear if you have fish bait. If you don't, buy a Nook Miles ticket, go to an island, and go fishing. That's what I've been doing. And I recently came up with a new trick to get bugs, but you'll have to see that in a future video. And then deep sea diving, there is no trick. You just got to do it. But you don't have to worry about your tools breaking, so there's that. All right, that'll do for now. It's not a great substitute for an Animal Crossing video, but it is what it is. Is this a bug? It is not. Is this a bug? It is. All right, so I'm kind of breaking the timeline here. The next time you see an episode of this series, it'll be on, well, I don't know what, like the next time I'm recording, it'll be March 19th. But, oh, well, no, it'll be March 18th. Well, whatever. But the next video you guys will see will take place like 2 or 3 days before this. So you're going to see me catch up to 4,000 something Nook Miles, or what, 4,000 something bugs caught. You get it. All right, we'll be good. We'll be good. I figured this was better than not having an episode, and I wanted to talk about this anyway. And now that I've talked about it, I don't have to talk about it in future episodes of the series. Woohoo! So, that wraps up this backup filler episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons, I guess. And I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye-bye, humans! Whoosh! Hey, thank you for watching my video. If you want to continue to support my content, the best thing you can do is like this video and subscribe to my channel. All you have to do is click the little buttons down below. Also, please be sure to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with my video schedule. My tag is @RealYoshiller. I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye-bye! Whoosh!